Good. You heard her. I don't know. All right, I've got 2:30. So at 2:30, I call this meeting of Saginaw City Council to order. Welcome to this special called session. Very brief agenda. We are streaming, so please keep that in mind. So our participation is as normal. If anybody wants to speak, please speak. Number 3 is considering action regarding interlocal agreement with University of North Texas Science Center for the use of the rec center. For that, City Manager Gabe Rain.
Mayor and Council, Chief Spears and our Emergency Management Coordinator Joseph Laster are going to go over the interlocal agreement that's before you. Apologize that it was late in coming. It's drafted as such for liability and insurance issues, but with that I'll turn it over to Chief Spears and Mr. Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. Quick background, the city was approached by UNT Health Science Center to operate a vaccination clinic in this area. We certainly were open to that. We want to do our part. They initially proposed a facility lease agreement with us. At Beren's recommendation, legal counsel, he created an ILA for us that affords us necessary protection for both us and UNT. That's what you have before you today. The ILA covers a period of 8 weeks of operation of the vaccination clinic that would occur at the rec center, starting April 5th and run through May 28th. The clinic is operational from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, although they would have staff there an hour before and an hour later from 8 to 6. Monday the 5th would be initially setup day, and they would go live with vaccinations the next day. They were initially anticipating doing 200 vaccinations a day based on the availability of the vaccines. I think that's since increased. I don't know if they'll ramp up to, but they're talking about potentially delivering 600 vaccinations a day, 3 teams there. I don't know if they'll start with that or not. They may see how it goes for a week or two and to make sure they can accommodate that many people there. But what you have before you is the ILA. I will turn it over to Joseph, or we'll try to answer any questions that you have.
Yes, if you have any questions, please just let me know.
Well, Joe, we don't get to hear from you enough, Joe, so why don't you sort of fill us in? How did this come about? How did we get in touch with them? Or why us, I guess, is my thought. Why did UNT pick us? Why do they want to do here? What's their...
So, Mr. Mayor and Council, they work through a group called the, let me make sure I get their name right. This is their contracting group, is Optimum Serve Consulting. So UNT hired them. They reached out to the city manager. City manager then diverted it to me. And the reason they want to come into Saginaw to vaccinate is they have a lot of social vulnerability, they say, in the surrounding Saginaw areas. Maybe those that don't really trust the vaccine process and all that, because this would be a big community outreach effort too on their part.
Okay.
So it would be they'd come in, they'd start vaccinating, and I would work with them on community outreach to our communities that aren't so warm to the idea. And also the biggest ones they want to hit are the elderly community and the minority community, Hispanic and blacks. And other than that, they're very excited about coming to Saginaw. They want to obviously they wanted to start real soon. And any other questions, just let me know.
So how are they going to do outreach, or how are we going to do outreach? And what will be our involvement in the outreach effort?
So they have a community outreach team that I would work with directly. There is a man named Ed that I've been working with, and he's assured me that we will work together on that. And it's kind of just, social media and going out to different places and talking to people. And of course, you have to be registered to be vaccinated and everything. They're going to push for everyone to be registered through Tarrant County. And what happens is Tarrant County will allot UNT the vaccines, and then then they'll distribute the vaccines daily through them.
Council questions? Cindy?
When you say daily, is that Monday through Friday or 7 days a week?
Monday through Friday, ma'am.
Okay. And the second question I have is the rec center is the one place, along with the library, that we have open for our citizens. We also had talked about opening up the rooms that you're using for the senior citizens. Is there a reason why we cannot use the old log cabin or even the community center? Because those places are not used as heavily as the rec center is. And I mean, we consistently, every meeting, talk about how much we need to protect our citizens. But once again, it seems like we're taking away the one thing that we have open for them, our tax-paying citizens, and we're shutting them down because we're opening up for the clinic.
I think the first hurdle is probably the size that they require and some separation between when people come in and get registered to when they give the vaccinations, and then they have their waiting period after. So it takes a pretty substantial area. I know that would eliminate the community center. The senior center, I'm not sure the shape that it's in, size-wise, it would be questionable whether we could do that also and have the separation components that we need in that building. So that's why those two weren't initially considered. Joseph went around throughout the city looking at other buildings, and the rec center is what they initially had in mind, so that's kind of what we took off and went with. Granted, it will displace some of the programs that we have, but if every city didn't jump in and do this, we would be in sad shape if everybody didn't want to try to play their part in the vaccination role.
I understand that.
Mr. Mayor?
I have a hard time accepting this.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council certainly understand the concern, and this is a public health and safety outreach effort, and the honest reality is the sooner and most efficiently we can get vaccines in the community, the sooner we can get back to normal.
And there's
So-
absolutely no other place that we can do this in our city?
That is correct. That meet the size requirements. There are requirements due to health information laws where they need to screen off people while they're receiving the vaccine. We just don't have a facility large enough. Staff, we met with staff to talk about moving some of the recreational activities to the gym. For the time being, that still will be available. The classrooms on the north side of the building are where the vaccines will be staged, and entry will be in that area as well as to the west. So we're going to try to accommodate every class that we have currently. Understand that it's a disruption, but again,
Yeah,
it's for the benefit of the entire community.
How many people are we expecting at this event?
They're potentially considering 600 vaccinations a day, so that's 600 people plus.
Wow.
What about staff? What about, how many staff people will be there from them?
So Mayor, they want to do appointment only, but I did speak to them. The bottom line is they're not going to have leftovers, and that's their mentality. But if for the chance that they have the no-shows on the appointments and all that, we'll work something out with them to where they're able to, if you're registered, you can come get the vaccine. So that's just something we got to kind of work through the first week and see how that works.
Staff size, did they give an indication of how many people?
Yeah, how many of their people will be there?
Oh, how many staff members there? Okay. 3 teams, so it's going to be,
We can get that information
it's
for you.
probably
That's
about
not
15.
something we talked about. It's moving pretty rapidly.
No, it sounds like a large effort. That's my point. With 600 people vaccinated today, you need a good-sized team. That's what I'm trying to understand. And that leads more to the space question as well, so that would
And
help.
granted, it is by appointment, so it is structured. You won't have 6
Sure.
people show up in the morning.
So you're going to have 70-some people every hour over there?
That would be close to the math that works out, yes.
And then we're going to have people working out. The gym part's still going to be open to the public?
That's correct. The gym will be open. The cardio room, the weight room will be open to the public. It's not busy during the day.
Because I'm worried about parking and everything, if that's going to be a problem. And then
We,
people working out away from other ones.
again, to the concern about, the appropriateness of facility, this is the best facility we have for parking and traffic flow and other things, so.
Well, we have, we have I know a police officer there. Will a police officer outside as well directing traffic, or how will that work?
Yeah, you'll note there's I believe a schedule appendix in the agreement that notes some reimbursables. One of those is for on-site security, so they will make a payment weekly to the city for that to make sure it's safe and orderly. There's some other reimbursable expenses related to cleaning and, supplies so that the city doesn't incur cost for this.
In addition to that one officer being there, Joseph will be there throughout almost every day, the entire period. We will commit the fire marshal to participate, and also, if we need additional help, the fire department will be there to make that happen.
And they're going to clean between every hour or something, or how are they going to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
The other ones, like at Sam's and everything, there, as soon as 2 or 3 people go in there, the people go in there and start cleaning and stuff, so that's why I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am. They have the staff to do that. Yes, ma'am.
Other questions? Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So are we going to have what we were calling the senior citizen entrance for the temporary setup for the seniors? Are they going to have that entrance over on the west side of the building? Is that going to be there so we can kind of,
So all users of the facility will use the main facility entrance, and then they will proceed to the south, which would be the gym or the cardio room or the weight room, which would be available.
I'm talking about the vaccination people. Are they going to come in that side doors?
They will have that secured for their use as well as all the classrooms.
So we're going to allow the vaccination people to come in through the main entrance?
No, they would use the doors on the north side of the building straight into those classrooms.
Oh, okay.
Only ADA specific through the entrance doors, and we'll accommodate that case by case.
And then there's a double doors over on the west side as well, between that hallway, the end of the hallway?
That is for the clinic's use, that exit and
Okay.
entrance.
What about restroom facilities?
That they will have to share the restrooms. They will be passing in use of the restrooms, yes.
Is this already pretty much a done deal? Because I was noticing in your weekly department update, you said UNT Health Service Sciences will host a vaccine at the rec center.
Yeah, we're,
So they're already anticipating starting over there? Based on your
that's,
statement?
yes, the planning and logistics have been taken care of with Chief Spears, and we're waiting for your action on the interlocal.
I understand the concern here, but I have a real problem with us taking, like, the one and only facility that we have for our citizens away from them. I understand your concern, but I also concerned about the health and welfare of our citizens. This is a tough decision.
I guess I'm unclear on what you're concerned about, because we'll still have some classes. We had not had any senior programming happening anyhow, right? So that has not started yet.
That's correct. There's very minimal program now. The senior exercise class, we're working to still accommodate.
Right.
There are some jazzercise and Zumba, a couple other classes that we'll shift around. Feel like we can shuffle all those. We may use space potentially at Fire Station 1 if possible. The intent's not to disrupt anything currently. And of course, everyone acknowledges that, you know, public health and safety is priority one, which is why this came to your attention so quickly.
Right.
We've had several times in the past. Right now, like Gabe said, we don't have that many classes at the moment just because of our limited hours that we're open. But we've had several times in the past where, whether it be a chamber meeting or a city meeting or whatever at the rec center, where we had to move a class out to the gym without canceling everything. And I can see us accommodating pretty much, if not every class that we have offered right now. And
But we did ask Gabe to look into some other activities for seniors, since we did have some of the restrictions lifted, but things that we could still do safely, like maybe restoring the bingo games or something. We asked you that a couple meetings ago.
So in light of the health and safety issue before us, that is not possible, although we will have the gym and the cardio room and the weight room available for programming activities. We'll try to shuffle requests as we can and do the best that we can. The priority to restore life, as we all want to live it in normalcy, is to get vaccines out in the community as efficiently and quickly as possible. I don't know what more I can tell you.
This is 8 weeks starting April the 5th? What's the,
Yes, sir.
yeah, ending when?
5th.
What day will it end? May 28th?
yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a definite?
Approximately 35,000 vaccinations that we stand to deliver here in Saginaw.
Wow, okay. I guess my other question is, sign up through the county site. If somebody in Saginaw signs up through the county site, how can they be guaranteed that they'll get here as their location? Because there are a lot of locations.
So what UNT gets is a list of, it kind of pulls it geographically, and then they get a list of those in the area that they'll be able to pull from. So I can't say it's 100% guarantee because there's flaws to every system, but I was assured by the UNT and the Mr. Ed, who I've been speaking with, that they'll be able to pull geographically from this area.
Okay.
I think that is the primary intent of trying to set up these satellite areas so people have to travel less,
Right.
particularly elderly or people that have transportation challenges. The intent is to have them travel a less further distance to get their vaccination. So the more of these satellite sites that are set up, the more availability for people to just travel a short distance to get their vaccination.
Yeah, that was one of the big selling points for this for me, was that we could get our own folks vaccinated here, folks that have limited travel capacity or transportation. I think that's the biggest thing we need to look at, is that we've got an opportunity to get 35,000 people vaccinated, hopefully most of them very, very close to where we're sitting right now, to give a tangible benefit to the citizens of Saginaw and also the local surrounding community. That's really the biggest thing that I see, and if we can do everything we can to make sure that happens with the sign-ups, but also with transportation. I know I've heard some about transportation as well. Did we look into that, what we can do transportation-wise to help some folks out that are close but cannot get here?
Yeah, we'll get with the county. My understanding is I think that there's a county transport option available for folks who have a vaccine appointment. So again, everybody's priority is to get as many people vaccinated as possible so that life can return to normal. We'll be in touch with Tarrant County to make that happen.
Okay, good. Okay, folks, other questions on this agreement? So you said Bren has vetted this agreement, right? Or he wrote it, probably.
Yes, sir, that is
Okay.
correct.
So, always like to hear that. And at the very end, I'm looking, sorry, I was trying to find it. The dollars, so this is what they're going to pay us, right?
Yes, sir, the reimbursement cost.
Per week? That'll
Yes,
be
sir.
our lump sum, okay, total sum, gotcha. So the city side won't be out any money for this. We're not going to be out any funds for this effort.
Absolutely correct.
Okay. That's a good thing. So we'll pay overtime or whatever for our police officers or whoever's doing security and for other folks and you guys, the fire department guys as well. Okay,
We're committed to make it run smoothly and provide whatever resources are necessary.
good.
Do we have CERT and CPA assisting with this as well?
That's something I'm looking at, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
That's a good idea. Would it be CPA or would it be CERT? Which one?
CERT helps the volunteers for the fire department. CPA helps the police department, but they could probably help with
I would
traffic
say
and
maybe
things like
both
that.
would it be either or both with this one,
I
actually?
think both
That's
of
sort of
them
my
could
question.
benefit.
Okay. It sounds like an opportunity for both, but okay.
I think some of them are members of both organizations.
them
so
are. I
Some
like
of them share the same
80%.
folks.
Oh, okay. No, that's a great
And
idea.
they're volunteers.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Any way we can get by next council meeting time, which is what, the 15th or something like that?
Oh, it's next
The
Tuesday.
5th?
Next
Sixth.
Tuesday. A week from today.
I was going to say, get some kind of an update as to how this is going.
So I'm going to do daily sit reps on how many have been vaccinated during the day and send them to chief, and then he'll relay to everybody else.
We will inundate you with information as much as you want.
Good. Good. Other questions, council? Charles? You good? Everybody good? Questions, comments, concerns, anything else? Everybody happy with the agreement? All right, if no other questions, no other concerns, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve this interlocal agreement, cooperation agreement with the University of North Texas Science Center for the use of Saginaw Rec Center.
Okay. Second? Second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? All right, thank you, guys. Anything else? Is that it? Anything else? We good otherwise? Everybody happy? We good? We're good? All right.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Wait a second. All those in favor? At 2:50. We're out of here. Thank you very much.
Rick, I guess you'll put that in an email or some kind of communication, what your recommendation is?
Yep. You blocked my shot.
Shots at inherent basketball skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Came out.